All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Sports Corner PH interviews with Gab Perras. And it's so happy to have privilege to have our champion figure skater that recently won 6 gold medals lang naman. Just SkateAsia Malaysia held in Kuala Lumpur last month. We will have our Lapu-Lapu City Pride, Erphy Claire Mckenzie. Erphy, thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to have us in our interview. You're opening my mic spot.
I'm all good. I just had my training with Coach Bomb in MOA. Yes, we had training camp with the Indians for almost 2 weeks, headed by an Olympian coach. It was tough, but also it was nice to train with other athletes from another country. I've learned a lot and I gained new friends. They were nice.
That's good to hear. And of course, Erpy has been competing for the longest time in the sport of figure skating. Erpy, when was the time you have started figure skating, and in the years come by, how do you improve and shoulder on with your performance in the ring?
I've been skating for almost 3 years now. In the last 3 years, I've competed locally and internationally in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. I started skating when I was 4.5, and I can see myself continuing doing what I love. I'll work and train hard to be better on ice.
Erpy, you've been part of the delegation before that competed at the Skate Indonesia back in 2019, and luckily you have won the gold medals there. Sign of dominance for our Filipino skaters internationally. What was your feeling that you have won for the first time competing in the international stage?
It was a new experience for me. At first, it was scary, but with the help of my coaches, friends, and family, it turned out fun. Winning medals was special, but for me, it's the experience that was more memorable that time.
You were supposed to compete in other competitions as well, Sana, some qualifiers for the Filipino national team for the following year, 2020. But of course, the pandemic happened. During the pandemic, have you continued your training at home? And of course, apart from this, taking care of your academics and of course, studies?
Due to pandemic, rinks were closed for 2 years. We have virtual off-ice exercises once a week with the national coach, Coach Pong. At some point, I did try roller skating and some restrictions and some of
Okay,
due to the pandemic.
okay, take your time. Go ahead.
Due to pandemic, rinks were closed for 2 years. We have virtual ice exercises once a week with the national coach, Coach Palm. At some point, I did try roller skating and some of ice exercises with Coach Frank also. But that didn't last for long due to some strict restrictions. It was lucky though because the schedule was friendly enough to give way for my studies.
And while the restrictions being lowered, most of our ice rinks owned by SM, for example, yung sa Mega Mall, Samoa, Seaside Cebu, ay nagbukas na rin. You grateful that you get the chance to skate again, and have you find yourself to have skate on ice after months of doing strength and conditioning along with the coaches as well?
Of course, I am very happy. The rinks in the country are now open. It felt truly a bit hard when I first stepped on the ice after 2 years. But with the help of my coaches and my determination, once a skater, always a skater.
In February, you will receive an invite for a training camp at somewhat artistic power stroking and master classes of the SM and Bank of China to further adjust in your training conditions and getting themselves be ready for upcoming competitions. What are your learnings for you upon undergoing the training program?
Yes, I am also grateful for SM and Bank of China to help us skaters adjust on ice. I've learned a lot and managed to adjust on ice in time the help of my coaches. My skating skills, edges, jumps, and spins were improved.
Last month, we were glad that we covered the SkateAsia Malaysia, even though we are not physically present there because I am present already online. Yung SkateAsia Malaysia 2022. So how do you prepare for the tournament itself? Could you share to us your preparations and in terms of how the intense training was? Are you 100% ready to finally compete internationally after months that you have been on hiatus because of the pandemic?
First of all, thank you for acknowledging our. Wait, can I do this one more time, please?
All right, go ahead.
First of all, thank you for acknowledging our little milestone on ice. In preparing for the competition, we worked double time with our coaches. Strength and conditioning was scheduled early mornings, and I have to stay late also to make programs. It was hard, but it pays off. My coaches and made sure I am ready for the competition. I was ready 100%, I think.
All right, during the time of the competition, did you also meet with other skaters as well? And how was your chemistry along with your teammates that they have won the medals there, including Dawn, Jasmine Goto, who won 5 golds and 1 silver. We will be interviewed later.
In the competition, you were won 6 out of 6 gold medals. Oh, wait. To be honest, I wasn't my best with couple of my programs. I was nervous when I saw my competitor so good. But despite that, I still managed to compose myself and finish it smooth to the judges, especially. But me and my coach knew it wasn't my best. The rest of my programs, I did it with all of my heart. I focused on my elements and presentation.
Okay, so in that competition, okay. Take 2. Go ahead.
It's always nice to see some of your co-athletes. It made the competition easier because their support helps a lot. It's more like just presenting my programs in our rinks here in the Philippines than competing abroad there if they're around.
Okay, so in the SkateAsia Malaysia recently, you were won 6 out of 6 golds in all events that you have joined. Artistic, footwork, jump and spin, technical, freestyle, and solo composite. Grabe talaga umakot ng mga medalya itong si Erphy. What are the observations during the performances that you captured the gold, and how do you keep up with them? Despite heated competition, you managed to struck 6 goals in all 6 events.
To be honest, I wasn't my best with a couple of my programs. I was nervous when I saw my competitors so good. But despite that, I still managed to compose myself and finished it smooth to the judges, especially but me and my coach knew it wasn't my best. The rest of my programs I did with all of my heart. I focused on my elements and my presentation, and I enjoyed it a lot. I think that's how I managed to win it all. I did my best and enjoyed my performances.
Okay, we will ask the parents Sana for their perspective on the interview, but of course your mom could not join us because she cannot lead the work, but we will leave it up to that. So siguro tuloy tayo sa isa pang question. What was your reaction upon handing out the medals? Naiyak ka ba? Are you crying? Are you emotional? And of course sentimental for you because you offered this to many individuals who have been part of the campaign, especially the one that handles your costumes during the event.
Yes, I thank God for the strength and grace for me to perform at my best during the competition. Also to my parents who supported me from the start. I wouldn't be where I am now if not for my coaches, Coach Pom, Coach Nardi, Coach Dale, Coach Ronan, and Coach Frank.
Okay, so sa pinakitang performance niya ito si Erphy, you have been excited a lot to perform, but we cannot forget the pressure and nervousness in every competition. How do you handle it?
I have
All right, take your time to prepare. And of course, should we go ahead with the another question, Erphy? Of course, do not forget. Okay, stand by.
I worked hard and I composed myself with the best.
Okay, and of course, do not forget to credit those who have supported their campaign. First, God, your family, your coaches, na siguro bigyan natin ng recognition. Of course, the coaches that you handled para to give credit to them. Could you credit those who are helping this campaign?
Yes, I thank God for the strength and grace for me to perform my best during the competition. Also, to my parents who supported me from the start. I wouldn't be where I am now if not for my coaches, Coach Pom, Coach Nardi, Coach Dale, Coach Ronan, and Coach Frank.
At 8 years old, you have been won multiple medals. So we expect more from you. And what's next for Erphy? Any upcoming competitions? So while doing this, you will train other for the next one.
I have upcoming competitions here in Manila, the Skate Philippines this October, and I'll work hard to compete also for nationals this December.
Okay, so before we ask two more questions, could we ask for a little photo op, by the way, Erphy, para sa ating page natin, could you ask for a thumbs up po tayo and smile para sa ating photo opportunity? All right, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much, Erphy. And of course, our last two questions for you. Who considered your idol or inspiration in figure skating?
At the Sky Patanya, she's very good. I see her train in Mall of Asia sometimes. She teaches me techniques when I am practicing. She is in Korea now training.
That's nice. And of course, last question before we wrap up this interview. What is your message to those who have aspirations to be like you as a champion figure skater?
I always say dream big. If you can dream it, you can do it. It's hard work, but discipline pays off.
Wow, bravo. Galing mo talaga, Erphy. Thank you so much for joining us in this wonderful interview with you. And could you have a small message, or shout outs to our viewers and of course, those who followed you in your campaign?
For watching.
Thank you for watching.
Alright, so si Erphy Claire Mckenzie ang ating kasama natin ngayong araw. 6 gold medalists sa nagdaang SkateAsia Malaysia. And please stand by for Dawn Jasmine Gotong, another gold medalist in the SkateAsia Malaysia. Again, in a few minutes from now. Erphy, thank you so much again. It's a pleasure to have you in our show and looking forward to have meaningful conversations. At galing mo talaga mag-interview, syempre. Sana pagpatuloy mo lang yan. At of course, ang Sports Corner PH ay susuportahan pa rin ang inyong mga competitions, upcoming competitions. And rest assured, we will continue our support and guidance for you in the years to come as you are going to have a meaningful figure skating career. So thank you so much, Erphy. See you around at the ice rink and more power to you. Hope to meet you soon. Thank you so much. Salamat po. Bye.
Thank you, Sports Corner.
Thank you.